Clark's growing presence in global culture isn't accidental, it's supported by one of the strongest endorsement portfolios in modern women's sports. Major corporations have invested heavily in her because they see measurable returns in visibility, engagement, and product sales. Companies like Nike, Wilson, Gatorade, and State Farm don't choose ambassadors based on hype alone. They rely on data analytics, consumer behavior research, and long-term market projections. The fact that all four brands have invested in her simultaneously signals strong confidence in her commercial impact. Her reported long-term deal with Nike alone places her in rare territory. Signature partnerships of that scale are typically reserved for athletes expected to dominate both performance and marketing for years. Companies rarely commit that level of investment unless they believe the athlete can anchor campaigns, sell products, and maintain a positive public image. That's why analysts view her endorsement portfolio as evidence of sustained influence rather than temporary buzz. Wilson's decision to build a signature line around her is also historically notable. The last time the company created a similar spotlight partnership of that magnitude was for Michael Jordan, whose name became synonymous with global sports branding. Drawing any comparison to that level of legacy indicates how seriously companies are taking Clark's market potential. Gatorade's involvement adds another layer. The brand has a long history of partnering with elite athletes across multiple sports, so offering her a record-setting deal suggests they see her as a central figure in the next generation of sports marketing. Meanwhile, State Farm's decision to sign her as its first female athlete ambassador marked a symbolic shift, signaling that major corporations recognize the growing commercial power of women's sports. What ties all these partnerships together is consistency. Sponsors value reliability, professionalism, and broad audience appeal. Clark's public persona, competitive on the court yet composed off it, aligns perfectly with those priorities. Brands prefer ambassadors who enhance their image rather than create unpredictable headlines. From a business perspective, her endorsements demonstrate how modern athletes can generate value beyond competition. She isn't just earning income from deals, she's functioning as a marketing platform capable of driving consumer behavior. Every advertisement, appearance, or campaign featuring her expands her reach and reinforces her brand identity. That's why industry analysts often describe her not simply as a star player but as a commercial engine. She brings attention, engagement, and credibility wherever she appears. And when brands see that kind of measurable impact, they don't hesitate to invest heavily. When you step back and look at the full picture, Clark's front-row appearance, endorsement empire, and rising media presence all point to the same conclusion: she has become one of the most commercially influential athletes of her generation. That status didn't happen overnight. It's the result of performance, timing, personality, and market dynamics aligning at exactly the right moment. Women's sports are experiencing a surge in global interest, with attendance and viewership increasing across multiple leagues. Investors, sponsors, and broadcasters are paying closer attention than ever before, searching for athletes who can anchor that growth. Clark's ability to attract audiences makes her especially valuable in this environment. She represents a bridge between traditional sports fans and new viewers discovering the game for the first time. Her influence also demonstrates how the definition of athletic success has changed. In previous eras, greatness was measured almost entirely by statistics and championships. Today, it includes cultural impact, business partnerships, and global visibility. Athletes who can excel in all those areas simultaneously become more than competitors, they become brands. That's why moments like her appearance at a major fashion event matter. They show that she isn't confined to one industry. She can move between sports, fashion, entertainment, and advertising while maintaining credibility in each. Few athletes manage the transition successfully, and those who do often shape the direction of their sport for years. For younger players watching, her trajectory offers a blueprint. It demonstrates that modern athletic careers can extend far beyond the court if managed strategically. Building a strong personal brand, maintaining professionalism, and connecting with fans can open opportunities that previous generations never had access to. In the end, the real story isn't about one event or one comparison. It's about a broader shift in the sports world. Athletes now operate in a global marketplace where influence can be just as valuable as performance. Clark's rise shows what happens when someone excels at both. She isn't just succeeding within the system, she's helping redefine it. And that's why her every move, whether on hardwood floors or fashion runways, keeps drawing attention. People aren't just watching a player. They're watching a phenomenon in progress. Beyond endorsements and fashion appearances, another sign of Clark's expanding influence is growing interest from entertainment platforms. Reports of a potential project involving Netflix suggest that her story could soon reach audiences far beyond sports fans. Documentary-style series centered on athletes have proven highly effective at building global followings because they reveal personalities, routines, and challenges that viewers rarely see during games. Such projects often function as cultural amplifiers. They introduce athletes to viewers who might never watch a live match but become invested after seeing behind-the-scenes footage. That kind of exposure can dramatically increase an athlete's market value, because it transforms them from a competitor into a recognizable public figure. If a series like that materializes, it could expand Clark's audience into entirely new demographics. Her influence is already affecting teammates on the Fever roster. Players such as Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell, and Sophie Cunningham are competing in front of larger crowds and receiving more national media attention than the franchise experienced in previous seasons. That ripple effect demonstrates how one high-profile star can elevate an entire organization's visibility. From a league perspective, that kind of impact is invaluable. Increased attendance boosts ticket revenue, higher ratings attract broadcasters, and broader media coverage draws sponsors. When all those elements rise simultaneously, it strengthens the league's financial stability. Analysts often note that transformative athletes don't just succeed individually, they raise the profile of everyone around them. Clark's ability to attract attention across industries makes her especially valuable in that regard. She can appear in a sports broadcast, a commercial campaign, a fashion feature, and potentially a streaming series, all while maintaining credibility in each space. That versatility is what marketers call crossover appeal, and it's one of the most sought-after qualities in modern branding. Importantly, her public demeanor contributes to that appeal. She's known for praising teammates, staying composed during controversy, and maintaining professionalism in interviews. Sponsors favor that consistency because it reduces reputational risk. Predictability might sound boring, but in corporate partnerships it's a major advantage. All these factors together explain why companies and media platforms are eager to collaborate with her. She represents a rare combination of athletic excellence, marketability, and cultural relevance. And when those qualities align, they create a level of influence that extends far beyond any single sport. No rising superstar exists in a vacuum, and Clark's ascent has naturally been accompanied by comparisons and rivalries. Much of that narrative traces back to her college matchup between LSU and Iowa, when Reese performed the famous "You Can't See Me" taunt popularized by John Cena during the closing moments of the championship game. That clip spread instantly across social media and became one of the most talked about sports moments of the year. Moments like that often take on lives of their own. Fans analyze them, debate them, and attach meaning to them long after the game ends. In this case, the interaction helped establish a narrative rivalry that continues to fuel online discussion. Rivalries can be powerful marketing tools because they generate emotional investment. Supporters choose sides, engage in debates, and follow both athletes more closely. However, public perception plays a major role in how such rivalries affect brand partnerships. Sponsors pay attention not just to performance statistics but also to how athletes are perceived by audiences. They monitor social media sentiment, survey consumer opinions, and analyze engagement data. Those insights help them decide where to allocate marketing budgets. For Clark, the perception has largely centered on performance and composure. For Reese, coverage has sometimes focused more on personality and online presence. Neither approach is inherently better, but brands tend to prefer narratives that align with their marketing goals. A company promoting reliability and professionalism may gravitate toward athletes whose public image reflects those traits. It's also important to remember that online narratives can exaggerate contrasts. Social media thrives on dramatic comparisons, often simplifying complex careers into easy storylines. In reality, both athletes are highly accomplished professionals with large fan bases. Yet the perception of contrast can still influence sponsorship decisions because perception affects consumer behavior. Rivalries, when handled well, can elevate both competitors. They create storylines that keep audiences engaged and invested. Some of the most successful eras in sports history have been defined by iconic rivalries that pushed athletes to higher levels while attracting massive viewership. In this case, the ongoing comparisons highlight how quickly women's basketball has entered mainstream conversation. Debates about endorsements, appearances, and influence show that the sport now commands attention far beyond the court. And that growing spotlight is a sign that the entire landscape is evolving.